Beyond it, the Empire.
What do you know? There aren't bridges that big in Elmira, that's for sure.
How unsettling. There are bridges in the southern part of Ordelia territory, but nothing like this.
It's the most strategic location in that area to move a large army across the Aramid River. The Empire will want to hold on to it at all costs, so expect tough defenses.
You're right. The defenses are pretty impenetrable. Let's make our move carefully.
You're in command, Teach. Do whatever it takes to win. Well, other than sacrificing the lives of our allies for the sake of victory, try to avoid that. Let's get moving. We're counting on you, my friend.
I must always growths.
I've learned a
Sight set on the Imperial capital, the Alliance army chooses to march through the territory of House Gloucester, supporters of the Empire. Under the command of Nardell, the retainer of House Regan, the defensive forces of Houses Regan and Daphne draw out the Gloucester troops. Thus, the Alliance army can continue its march toward the Great Bridge of Myrddin and cross the Aramid River, which separates the Alliance and the Empire.
That symbol. It's an enemy raid. Stay calm and face them head-on. Send a messenger to Acheron immediately. If we're quick, we might be able to pull off a pincer attack.
They say the enemy general, Ladislava, is among Edelgard's most trusted. Let's see what she's got. Our goal is to take down Ladislava and gain control of the bridge. Let's go!
What's my strategy?
At the ready. Guide me well.
I do this for all of us. Onward!
I'm awake.
I'll do my best. My orders?
I'd be honored.
I will prevail.
You think we'll let you take this bridge from us?
Whoa, new enemies from the central fortress? By the looks of it, that might not be all of them. Looks like we can capture this fortress quickly if we take out the soldiers protecting it.
Enemies approaching. Get the soldiers standing by to join the fight. We may need to hurry up preparations of the ballista, too. Protect the fortress!
I fought and won.
I'm doing this for the win!
Fight, then rest.
Amazing! Now there's a way forward.
Acheron, now's the time to show your loyalty to the Empire. Attack the enemy from behind!
I've got to make my name known to Her Majesty through distinguished service.
Acheron the Weathervane. He's of the Alliance. He's a minor noble who holds territory to the north of Murden. If he's gonna support the Empire, no need to hold back. He's nothing but a nuisance, even to the Alliance. A fitting outcome.
Destiny unfurls.
As they say, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not in for a beating, am I?
I'll save my complaints.
I never should have aligned with the Empire.
I must keep going. Make a difference?
It won't be in vain. I need to slow down.
To repay Her Majesty's favor, I will not let you pass.
The moment has arrived!
Lady Edelgard! I'm sorry.
We'll ally ourselves with the Imperial soldiers, too.
Now there's a way forward.
I'd be honored.
All is going to plan. I fought and won.
I'll be home again soon.
My heart burns with pride.
I'm glad we defeated them here. I doubt they're an enemy we could win against twice. Well done, everyone. The Great Bridge of Myrddin is ours.
I was prepared for bloodshed, but that was more than expected. I guess I'm still not used to this.
Even our enemies were fighting for their own cause. They held out without fleeing until the bitter end. Yes, we can't afford to stall here.
Now it's on me to return to Alliance territory and convince those lords to join us. Lawrence, would you return home for the time being and lay the groundwork with your father?
Fine. After all, this is for the Alliance. Or rather, for all of Fodlan.
For those of you who live in Alliance territories, I ask that you return to your houses and spread the word about the current situation. Until we finish our preparations, Judith and the Knights will do everything in their power to defend the Great Bridge.
That's a casual way to dole out such a deadly mission, boy.
Do you object?
Just who do you think I am? I won't let the Empire pass this way, even if it costs me my life.
Too bad you're not allowed to die. Fight like your life depends on it, but flee if you're ever truly in danger.
A tall order, as always. I'll use my best discretion, Claude.
We have no objections either. Go forth and secure us a sufficiently powerful army.
I'll stay here too. The only ones I'd be going home to are my little sis and my grandpa.
Are you sure you don't want to see your sister? It may be a while before you can return home again.
But if I see her, I may not want to come back. So I'll wait till I'm done here.
Actually, I'd like for you to come with me, Teach, to help negotiate with the Lords. They're followers of the Church of Seros, after all. It'll make things easier if we have someone there to speak on Rhea's behalf. All right, everyone. Let's meet back at the monastery next month. Good luck out there.
Is that you, kiddo?
I have returned, Nardell.
Oh, Master Claude, it's you. I mistook you for one of the local children. My apologies.
It seems you have adjusted to your work here. Our recent strategy was successful, thanks to you.
I was a bit concerned when House Goneril's army intervened from the east.
Count Gloucester must have requested reinforcements from them.
Yes, and they have that young general who won some acclaim from his battles in Elmira. Regardless, they showed no signs of seriously wishing to attack us, and merely fulfilled their obligations to House Gloucester. Now then, who is this handsome fella?
This is my professor, who I asked to join me at the Roundtable Conference. Teach, this is Nardell, that retainer Judith was talking about.
How polite. I've heard good things about you from Master Claude.
As you can see, he wasn't born in Fodlan. Still, trust me when I say he is highly capable.
True! In fact, my capability is my only redeeming quality. I hope you'll continue to look after Master Claude, Professor.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Myrddin, the Alliance Army invades the Imperial territories. In response, the Imperial Army garrisons soldiers at Fort Mercius.
All of that went about as well as it could have. Each lord has agreed to provide us with soldiers and supplies.
I'm impressed you were able to convince all of those scattered nobles to help us. I thought they would quarrel about how much support they should each provide. That's what they usually do.
Well, Count Gloucester took the initiative in taking on responsibilities. I presume that was because you spoke with him in advance, Lawrence.
I merely explained the situation at hand. Then my father simply followed your lead, Claude. It was because you had the professor there to represent Lady Rhea. My father is a pious follower of the Church of Seros.
I don't doubt it. I wasn't under the delusion that it was my personal charm that unified everyone. Thanks for that, by the way. I hope you don't feel like I used you, because I sort of used you. I appreciate that. We don't have time to be picky about our methods. But be honest, you're having a hard time adjusting to your new role, aren't you? You weren't even a follower of Seros to begin with, and somehow you've ended up as a representative of the Church. I realize that you might feel guilty about deceiving the believers for our cause. But this is just what the Archbishop wanted, and she's the highest authority in the Church. Besides, as wielder of the Sword of the Creator, it's undeniable that you're special. I think you should be more confident in yourself and use your position to the fullest.
I have news. Our enemy is gathering troops at Fort Mercius. Their army is immense, likely led by a renowned general, or perhaps even...
Well now, that would be interesting. If we can defeat the Emperor, then the Empire will collapse.
There's something else. An unidentified army has approached the Great Bridge of Myrddin. They passed through the Daphne and Gloucester territories from the northwest with incredible speed. They're raising the banner of House Blathid. Perhaps they are the remnants of the Fargus royal family. From what we could tell, they posed no threat to the citizens of the Alliance, and so we refrained from engaging them in needless combat.
Maybe they hope to fight against the Empire to avenge their fallen prince. And what about the bridge itself?
Obviously, we wouldn't let them pass without receiving envoys first. We thought they may try to force their way through. We considered firing warning arrows, but they left immediately, heading east.
Are they intending to use one of the bridges in Ordelia territory?
Most likely. But the Imperial Army still controls those bridges. I can't imagine what they intend to do in the Empire, even if they do manage to break through.
I'm reluctant to ease up on our surveillance, but it would be difficult to track them there. For now, let's assume they're just troops belonging to the Old Kingdom. In any case, we should proceed with caution. Soon we'll be entering Empire territory ourselves. If our enemies are going to intercept us with an attack, it will probably be at Gronder Field. How fitting that it was the site of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion 5 years ago. I've still got some hidden potential.
Right.
So the Boar Prince is dead. Decapitated, I hear. I haven't seen the severed head myself. Perhaps he's still alive and leading that army. Don't patronize me. If his head is still attached to his body, I'll remedy that without hesitation. Either way, a major battle awaits us. Try not to die. I'd be annoyed if you did.
After we cross the Great Bridge of Murden, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, remember? Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip. Oh, no. You should pray we don't run into him at all. The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know?
Indeed. When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments. Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods, yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
Professor!
I seem to lack the skills required to grieve for the dead. If someone has passed, even someone dear to me, I could stand about and wail or get on with my life. While I'm at it, that whole idea that we must speak well of the dead, I don't understand that either. If I didn't like them when they were alive, then why pretend to do so when they are no longer here?
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? That is not at all the case, Professor. Your memory serves you poorly. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday.
We captured the Great Bridge of Murden, but the fight has only just begun. Enbar, the Imperial capital, lies far to the south beyond Gronder Field. And waiting for us on the way there is the entire Imperial army, with twice as many troops as us. We had better brace ourselves.
Professor, thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Murden at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
Oh. Huh? I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. I never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. If you don't mind me saying, you don't look like you're in the middle of a crisis either. Oh, perhaps that was a little rude of me? Actually, it's the Great Tree Moon now, isn't it? Not that anyone's in much of a mood to celebrate the new year, of course.
Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course, that was a very different time. When it was over, all three class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we? Claude was reminds when it and then. Excuse me, could you do me a favor? Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart. Professor, we might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Mercius, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns. I don't know why you're so confident, but it does somehow make me feel better. Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get.
The Great Bridge of Murden was considerably better fortified than it was 5 years ago. The bridge was full of soldiers, and they all died.
Professor.
It's like this. I'm a graduate of the Golden Deer House, but that was a little before your time, Professor. We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Of course, we mostly have Holst to thank for that. And now he's the greatest general in the Alliance. I didn't do so great in comparison.
So, the campaign continues, does it? Well, allow me, as a professional recluse with 10 years of experience, to volunteer for, staying behind. Oh, who am I kidding? The fighting won't stop until we've defeated Edelgard, will it? Or until we lose, I guess. But there's not much use in thinking about that.
Hey!
Lady Rhea, I've got to keep this place clean. And I mean properly clean. Every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
A moment, please. Since you secured the Great Bridge of Murden, trade got a lot easier within the Empire. Nevertheless, profits are rather thin compared to how it was 5 years ago. You can't be much of a trader unless you're prepared to traverse the whole of Fodlan.
Reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but we have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Hey!
Welcome! Is that the one? Come back soon!
What? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgleys. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all!
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up? Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them. That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
If we defeat the Imperial Army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Mercius, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? I'm sure it's already occurred to Claude, though.
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
I've cut all contact with my family since joining this fight. Were I to see soldiers of the Galatea family amidst the host flying the royal family's banner, well, all chance of reconciliation with my father would end there. I do not know if that is the right path, but the fact is, I've come this far. There's no time for second guessing. Not anymore.
Hello.
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Mercius. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Beyond the Great Bridge of Myrden, it's all unfamiliar territory for us. We don't know where Lady Rhea's being held. We ought to investigate all potential locations thoroughly. The Knights of Seiros will handle the search. We'll report back if we learn anything.
Since Little Claude became their leader, the Alliance Lords haven't been especially unified. Now they're suddenly united for a common cause. As a result, the Empire hasn't been able to perform even one successful incursion. Rather, we're the ones who might get the jump on them. It's incredible. Magical, even. Maybe his strategic genius was simmering for those 5 years, and it returned to a full boil once you two were reunited. Or maybe he always knew he'd meet you again, and he was preparing for that this whole time.
Professor? The time's come to fight the Empire, huh? Wow, it's shaping up to be quite the battle. And I've got no problem with that. But that mystery army really worries me. There's no indication if they're friend or foe. Who do you think they are, Professor? Well, whoever they are, I hope we can avoid fighting them. Not unless he rose from the grave to secure revenge. That would mean... Actually, I have no idea what that would mean. Well, whoever they are, I hope we can avoid fighting them.
So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
I heard that some unidentified troops have appeared, but apparently they were flying the flag of the Fargus royal family. Do you think it was Dimitri's ghost? His country was taken before he ever wore the crown. Surely he must regret that.
Claude seems filled with confidence, but I wonder if everything really will be okay. The Imperial Army might be hiding the Emperor, and the troops headed south might belong to the Old Kingdom. I'll be honest, I'm incredibly uneasy about all of this. But at this point, there's no option but to move forward.
Claude's the Imperial... I'll be honest. I trust you and Claude, but I feel uneasy. If we lose in the next battle, the Empire's army will likely come surging into Alliance territory. If that happens, my parents won't escape unharmed. They've raised their anti-Imperial flag after all. Thank you, Professor. I'll fight with all I've got to. Speaking with you has eased my mind a bit. Just enough, in fact, to put me in the mood for sweets.
Something. House Gloucester has changed its allegiance and joined the faction that is against the Empire. The Alliance will thus remain united. But thanks to this latest ploy, my father is more suspicious of Claude now than ever, if such a thing is possible. Ordinarily, I might credit his helpful posture toward us to his devout faith in the Church of Seros. But it is clear to me now that this is nothing more than a shrewd calculation on his part. He is only thinking of his position. We are in the clear for now, but please bear in mind that the Alliance is never an entirely stable union.
If this mysterious military force is the remnants of the kingdom, you'd think there would have been the possibility of a united front. But from what I've heard, that's going to be difficult. Their behavior is very erratic. If they're clamoring for revenge and death, then it's probably better if we have nothing to do with them.
Nobles who are changing allegiance again and again. I do not have understanding for that. How can you trust if treason comes with ease? How can you be calling yourself a noble? I do not have understanding of the reasoning. Surviving is more difficult without trust. There must be some other goal.
We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle is a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't rely on the protection of the goddess. With your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory.
Hey, I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
So, we're finally invading Empire territory, huh? There's not much we can do right now, except pray for deliverance. I truly believe that we have it in us to succeed.